Today's quote comes from Avengers 87, and it goes like this. Mist? Impossible! So I would have thought, until I partook of a certain herb. And I chose this quote for two main reasons in particular. Number one, it comes from the very Avengers issue that we're going to be talking about today. And number two, it kind of sounds like Black Panther's talking about smoking weed. In reality, he's talking about the heart-shaped herb that gave him his Black Panther powers. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about how Black Panther might be added to the Avengers game, and then we're going to go into a discussion about how expansions might work in general. So here we go.
Welcome to the initiative.
Alright guys, welcome to the initiative. So today's video is about how Black Panther could be added into the game in a future expansion, and my whole idea for how to introduce Black Panther into the game revolves around the Avengers issue 87. This comic, I love it, and I love it primarily because it's written by Roy Thomas, who I have brought up in previous videos. I'm telling you guys, Roy Thomas is my favorite Avengers writer of all time. His stuff is so good and so emotional, and what makes issue 87 special, apart from it having a largely like T'Challa Black Panther focus, is that it is super emotional, okay? And it goes through the story of T'Challa from when he was a young boy to when his father died to going to school and stuff, and making friends with this other Wakandan boy named Batumba, right? And then along the way, it goes all the way to when he gets his powers as Black Panther, and even going on his first little Black Panther heroic adventure mission. And basically what he comes to find is that AIM has infiltrated Wakanda, and they have a little refinery there where they're stealing vibranium from the sacred mound and using it to build whatever they need to build, right? So Black Panther freaks out and he tries to take them on, but he gets captured. And the whole time he's just wondering, like, who gave AIM? Who gave these people the location of the vibranium mound? Like, why are they here? And he's trying to figure it out. And he starts by casting the blame on somebody he knows, Mbaza. But in reality, it's revealed that the person that gave AIM the location is the Wakandan boy that he was friends with, Batumba. And T'Challa is just totally heartbroken, but at the end of the day, T'Challa, like, you know, his emotional connection to Batumba convinces Batumba to betray AIM, and so Black Panther and Batumba end up saving the day. But it's a very emotional story nonetheless. And overall, I think this story serves as a great basis for how to introduce Black Panther to the Avengers game. You see, this story features AIM, just like the Avengers game, and I think it would be great if we could have, with the expansion packs, a little bit of story with them. And I think this story is great because it has that emotional connection between Black Panther and his friend, and that just makes you care even more about everything that happens, right? So I guess now I want to talk about how the expansions will work overall. And this is something I was talking to Evan Falarka about very recently. I mentioned in my previous video that Evan and I had a phone call where we were discussing the Avengers game. And one thing that we both agreed on was that we are really excited about the story, and we want story to be like a big focus, right? Even though it is a multiplayer game and it will have multiple expansions, we want the story to be consistently important throughout, right? And so with the expansions, with these new characters, I'm kind of hoping that each character will have like some sort of emotional journey, or at least some sort of interesting story to get them to join the team, stuff like that. And so with Black Panther in particular, you know, he's such an important character, and he has so much like interesting things that come with him, Wakanda and all his abilities and all of his supporting cast, right? So I think it would be really great if not only do we get a Black Panther additional like playable character, but if we could get a couple of like missions that, you know, allow us to get to know him, allow us to get to know Wakanda and the situation before he joins the team officially, you know? So I think it would be great if not only that, but if they actually use some stuff from the comics. Like I said, Avengers issue 87 is perfect, right? Because you have AIM in there, you have that emotional story of Black Panther and his friend. And yeah, you're taking creative liberties because you're putting the Avengers in there. Like maybe what happens in the games version is that Black Panther discovers that AIM has infiltrated Wakanda, and he doesn't know how to deal with it because it's so much. Like there's so much AIM in here that he just discovered. So he has to go to the only other people that he's like aware of that have been fighting AIM, and that's the Avengers, right? And so then we join Black Panther in Wakanda, and we take down some AIM bases, and along the way, maybe we don't need cutscenes, right? Because I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how much effort they can put into these expansions, because you want to get a lot of playable characters characters, but you don't want to sacrifice like too much, like you don't want to sacrifice like immersive storytelling for that, right? So I think it'll be cool maybe if instead of cutscenes we can just have like interactive audio between the characters while we play through the missions even, and that way we can be taking down aim bases with Black Panther, and along the way we can hear him talk to like Tony Stark or something, much in the same way that in Spider-Man PS4 you'd have like phone calls with Aunt May as you did a bunch of other stuff. Maybe in the Avengers game, as you're playing through these expansion missions with these expansion characters, you can have dialogue between them. Like you could have Black Panther tell Tony, like, as you're fighting some AIM guys, he can be saying like, I don't know how they got here. I think it was my friend. I don't know. I'm heartbroken about this. You know, I think that stuff would be so great, you know, and I really look forward to seeing how much story is present in the expansions and just what stories they tell overall, right? So this is basically my idea for the Black Panther thing. I think it would be cool if it was inspired by Avengers 87. Basically, any inspiration taken from Roy Thomas's work, it makes me excited. And yeah, so what do you guys think? Have you guys read this comic? Have you guys read Avengers 87? Do you think it's a good story? Would you like this to be influential on the game? What do you think about like implementing story and, you know, maybe even cutscenes into the expansions? Or, you know, what are your thoughts on all of that? I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious about all of it. I'm very excited about all of it. And also, what expansion characters do you think we'll be seeing first? I think a lot of people are placing bets that Captain Marvel and Hawkeye are going to be like the first two that are revealed as playable post-launch. I'm hoping Black Panther doesn't come too late after that. I hope he's like third or fourth, you know? Obviously, we've been teased Hank Pym since like day one, basically. And don't get me wrong, Hank Pym is probably one of my favorite, like top three, maybe even top two, I don't know, maybe let's say top three. He's top three favorite Avengers for sure. Top five for sure. I love him. I love everything that comes with him. He's such an interesting character, right? But I can wait for him a little longer if it means getting him right? Because if we get Hank Pym, then I definitely want Vision as well, and I would like an Ultron storyline to come with that. I mean, Ultron is like one of the best Avengers villains ever, right? So I would definitely love to see that in the future, but I can wait. Whereas Black Panther, I feel like it's more necessary, especially because, you know, the team behind the Avengers game is so committed to diversity and everything. I would love to see how they implement Black Panther and what stories they tell with that character. And again, when I say Black Panther more important, like I say that because Hank Pym, he's at least in the game as a supporting character already. So to play as him, I can wait as long as he's already in there, right? Whereas Black Panther, we know nothing about whether he's in the game or not yet, right? So that's why I'm highlighting him at the moment. Anyway, so I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked this video. It was a little long. It was a little all over the place. As usual, you know, I ramble, I get distracted, I get excited. But overall, this is a great comic. Black Panther is a great character. I can't wait for the expansion. I wonder how they will work. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope you have an awesome day.